Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. My name is Graham, and welcome to my show. And today we have a great caller. He's 15 years old and made $10,000 already from his eBay business. He doubled his money on Robinhood, and he did significantly well with a trading account on TD Ameritrade. His parents say they don't want him to say how much money he made on that, so I'm kind of curious how much money he made on that and how significant that is. But anyway, he's doing really well. And his question is he wants to know how to grow that and start getting into real estate investing when he's 18 and what he can do now to prepare for that. So let's bring him on and see what it's all about. So welcome to the Graham Stephan Show. What's going
on? Nothing much. My name is Arif Khan. I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm 15 years old.
Cool. Yeah, I saw your email. You've done some really impressive stuff so far with eBay, with Robinhood. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What exactly are you selling on eBay to make $10,000? That's what I want to know.
So, a year ago, I got into, drop shipping, and I thought it was, a scam and all that, right? And then I made a Shopify store, and I lost, $700.
Okay.
I started eBay drop shipping after I lost $700 on a Shopify store.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I sold an Xbox that apparently was super limited quantity at Walmart, but it was a limited edition kind of thing. And I was selling them for $150 profit each one.
Nice. That's insane, and then, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I found that perfect thing. And right now I've made roughly, I think, as of right now, I think it's 17, but in profits it's $10K.
Wow. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Are you still making that income now? Are you still going with this?
So right now, it kind of stopped a little bit because of school and I'm taking super rigorous classes.
Yeah.
But during the year, this year, during the school year, I pulled in about $4,000, and during the summer so far, I've done $3,000.
What did you invest in Robinhood to double your money?
Oh, okay. I didn't double my money. I don't disclose it really how much I made, but I've made more than I have in eBay.
Oh, wow. That's insane. I'm so happy for you. Seriously, that
Thank
makes me so happy to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what are your questions? What is the end goal with all of this?
Right when I turned 18, I want to just get into real estate investing and buy, I want to live that frugal life, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to grow my wealth so maybe when I'm 30, 40, I can be a millionaire.
Yeah, I mean you're on track. I mean, as long as you just keep this up and you live frugally and you don't spend it, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do this by 30, and be financially independent by 30.
Yeah, so that's one of my issues though. I don't blow my money like most high schoolers, but I have trouble not making impulse purchases. If that makes sense.
Yeah, what do you spend your money on?
So okay, let's see. Whenever I'm out with friends, no matter what, I end up buying something. And and I spend so much money on just things that I like to do. And I know but I could be saving that money. So for example, I spent a bunch of money making a PC and I think I blew $2-3 grand on that.
Okay.
And
here's the thing, man. It's a very slippery slope because I'm in the train of thought where at your age, I think those experiences are invaluable, and I almost feel bad telling you not to spend money and to save it all, and and just be this miserable person who never. If it were, man, because it's a tough one. If it were me, I would recommend you save 85 or 90% of your income, whatever you make, and then 10% of it, put it as a fun budget and below it. I wouldn't see any issue with doing that as long as it's within reason. If you can make, 20 grand, let's say, take $2,000, $2,500 of that, spend it on whatever you want without even thinking about it. That's what I would do, because I do think you should be rewarded and see the benefits of your hard work, of being smart with money. The issue that I see is that it's very easy to start becoming accustomed to blowing $2,000-3,000 on a computer setup, or $1,000 here and $1,000 there, and all of a sudden that $1,000 that you spend doesn't give you the same excitement as it once did in the beginning, and now it's going to take $5,000 to get that level of like that boost, and then it's going to take you $10,000, and then it slowly starts creeping out of control, slowly.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, especially at your age now. I feel like this age for you is so impressionable that if you're accustomed to spending thousands of dollars in the beginning now, what is that going to be like for you 10 years from now or 20 years from now?
Exactly.
So I would, if anything, just be very mindful. Take 85% of your income, put it away somewhere where you can't touch it. If you don't trust yourself with the money and you feel like I'm going to be tempted, ask your parent. If you trust your parents, and it sounds like they're good parents, I would tell them to basically hold off on this money, put it away until I'm 18 or 19 or something like this. And then in terms of you wanted to get into real estate, do you have a credit card yet? Did your mom set you up with like a secured credit card? Did she co-sign on anything with you?
So I just started getting into credit cards, so I'm definitely going to ask when I turn 16.
Yes. Okay, so that would be the first thing I would do. The week you turn 16, I would see if your mom can co-sign with you on some sort of secured credit card or some sort of credit card, something, just so you can start getting some credit in your name really early on. That's going to be huge. The next thing I would do, if you want to start investing in real estate, is I would start preparing some sort of tax returns. Because here's the thing. When you're 18 years old, you're going to have a great credit score, and you're going to want to, let's say, invest in real estate. Let's say you have $100,000 saved up, and you're going to want to put that as a down payment on a house. Any lender is going to see, okay, well, you have 2 years of credit history. That's sufficient. Where is your income? We need proof of income. And your only option at that point is to be like, well, now I have to file for 2 years of tax returns until I'm 20. Or your mom or your parents are going to have to co-sign on that loan, which if they're cool co-signing, I don't see any issue with that. But if this is something you want to do 100% on your own, you will need to file some tax returns. That's if you want to do this when you're 18. Before then, my recommendation would be build your credit, save as much money as you can. I would also join biggerpockets.com is a really great community. I'm not sure if you're on there already, but look into some of those local meetups. I think a lot of these places have meetups like once a month, and I would just go there and show up and just network. Bring your parents along too. And just go and network, I think would be a really invaluable thing, an experience for you to do. And everyone is going to be going out of their way to help you out. Because that's the thing, like you have the one advantage right now of being 15, where even something like this, like people go out of their way to help you. And partially the reason why I took your call is because I remember like how it was for me at 15 and just how much something meant to me, and how much I took everything to heart. And it's because of that other people realize that and wish that like, oh man, I wish I could have done this when I was 15. And they want to help you out because of that. Use that to your advantage, because if you were, let's say, a 50-year-old caller who had the same thing and you made money in Robinhood and made some money on eBay, chances are it wouldn't be as interesting as when you're doing this at 15. So use that to your advantage. If you show up to any networking event, you will get preferential treatment just because you're younger than everyone else, and everyone is going to go to the way to make sure that you succeed. And it's rare. Okay. You stand out a lot more being a motivated 15-year-old than you do like a motivated 30-year-old, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge upside for you right now.
The thing I'm scared about most is like definitely the impulse purchases. Like, for example, I was at a restaurant once and I spent like $20 on a meal when it wasn't even like needed. It was a cheap restaurant. Like, I don't know why I did that, but it's just like, I see things online sometimes and I really want to buy it. And definitely that limit my parents have is good for me, but it's just like kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Two things. I think a $20 charge is not going to be the end of the world. But at the same, and also I think it's just an age thing. I think it's going to be different. It's going to be different when you start getting older and you start realizing the importance of money. Because that's the one thing I will say is that when you're living at home, and there's very little concept of what money will buy in terms of how expensive things are. Like for you, you don't really understand how much taxes really are. You don't understand how much, a mortgage payment would be, or property taxes, or how much life just costs. And that's only something you really realize when you get into it and you're on your own. You're like, oh crap, if I make 40K a year, that's nothing. I mean, that's like, how am I going to be able to save money for retirement? How can I get a house? How can I, there's so many things that cost money that you don't think about.
Yeah.
When you're in school, you're living at home, and everything is kind of provided. Everything is very expensive, and I think it's an age thing. So I don't think you're doing anything wrong with that. It's, I wouldn't beat yourself up over trying. And the thing is, at least you're aware of the downfalls of what can happen if you spend unnecessarily. But like, I wouldn't expect you to conceptualize any of this stuff until you're actually in it. It's like trying to describe a color. Like, how can you describe the color purple to someone who hasn't seen purple? It's you can't do it. Same thing with spending money. Like, you can't describe how much something is until you really feel how much it is and how much work goes into buying something.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't beat yourself up over it, but 15%, 10-15%, stick with that. If spending $20 is within that budget and worth it to you, spend $20. If a computer is within the 10 to 15% bracket and that's worth it to you, by all means, because I do think that you should be spending your money on things that are important to you, that you do enjoy at this age.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and don't beat yourself up over it.
Yeah. I think I have one more question on the email.
Yeah.
The thing is, I also may consider being a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And like, because like I kind of like the thing how you can work for work for your commission rates. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to them, and they were emphasizing how hard it is to get into like the higher markets. Like, how do you even do that? Because like I think in one of your videos you said like by the time you're like 19, you're in like these high markets. Like, how does that even happen?
I started there. I mean, the high markets, it's just a perception of what's high and what's not. Like, in the high-end market, that is normal for most people in that market. They don't think of themselves in a high market. They think of themselves as just in a normal housing market. It's only high when you look at the less expensive areas and compare it to one another. I drove 45 minutes to go to Beverly Hills every single day because that's what it took to sell real estate in the most expensive area. And I wouldn't want to work anywhere else. I mean, I just decided that's where I want to work. If you have an expensive area that's within about 45-minute drive from you, that would be the area that I would start working in and getting experience in and just start selling there. I don't think you need to waste your time working your way up the market and start with less expensive. You could just start at the very top. That's what I did. Especially if you can find a good mentor or someone who's already in the business who can kind of assist you with open houses and kind of teaching you what to do and pointing you in the right direction, I think is tremendously helpful. And I have no doubt that I think whatever you decide to do, you're going to be good at it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. But you have plenty of time too. I mean, you're 15, so I like that you're thinking about all of these things. You're keeping your options open. You're obviously really smart. You're mindful of all of these things. I think you're doing a really good job, and I think the sky is the limit for what you can do and what your potential is. Just don't spend money on stupid stuff. Don't do drugs. Don't unnecessarily party.
Don't do any of that.
Don't waste your time with that. I think that's it, man. That's all I can kind of think about.
Okay. Thank
Otherwise,
you so much.
man, I wish you the best of luck and keep me posted with what happens. But you'll be just fine. And you can read the comments if anyone has any advice on this or things that they wish that they knew when they were 15. You can comment it down below and read all the comments, man. And if you want to sit there responding to comments, it's fun. So
okay,
enjoy, man, and great work.
Okay, thank you so much for taking my call. By the way, like it means so much coming from you.
Oh man, thank you. I really appreciate that. And if I can have a positive impact and keep you off drugs and keep you saving money, then I think it's worth it.
All right, thank you so much.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, man. Bye. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I have a feeling he's going to be reading the comments. So if you guys do comment anything, first of all, just be mindful who's reading the comments here. But if you have any advice for him, feel free to comment it down below. Keep it all PG here, right? Because we're a family-friendly channel. All of your comments should be PG rated. Maybe PG-13 at the very most. But just be mindful of that. So again, thank you for watching. Feel free to add me on Instagram. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. You've been through this part. If you make it to the very end, you've probably heard this outro a million times. So that's the outro. You know what to do. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.